and welcome. My name is Tolan and I'm the co-founder of Productivity Me. In this video, we're going to look at a quick keyboard shortcut in order to examine whether or not two or more rows have any differences in those that you've selected. So we're going to use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl / as well as an alternate way to find out whether or not there are those differences. So with that, let's get started. Here in Excel, we have a little example where perhaps you're looking at your actual inventory, what you think you should have, and the inventory that you've counted in your store. So say that in Q1, you thought that you should have 1,000 units, and you actually did have 1,000 units. In Q2, you were supposed to have 184 units in your inventory, but it turns out that you only had 183. In Q4, they were the same. Or rather, Q3, they were the same, and in Q4, there was a difference of you actually ended up having 10 more units than you thought you would. So you can check this visually if you so desire, but if you have a large data set, this can actually be really, really daunting. There's a quick, effective way to do this in Excel, and the way that I like to do it is by selecting the cells that you want to check, and again, we're going to see whether or not there are differences in specific rows. And we're going to do this by pressing the Shift key and the / key. By that, I mean the Control key and the / key. And it will automatically compare this row to, in this row, it will see whether or not there's differences. It will see whether or not there's differences. It will see whether or not there's differences. And it will see whether or not there's differences. It will then highlight the differences. And so we know that there are differences in row 4 and row 6. Now, in our next video, we'll look at how to do this with columns. But before we get to that keyboard shortcut, let's actually look and see how you could do this if you did not remember the keyboard shortcut of Ctrl /. If you didn't remember the keyboard shortcut of Ctrl /, you could come here on your Home tab into Find and Select. You could go to the Go To choice and launch the Go To dialog box. You go to Special, and we're going to select Row Differences. And of course, we actually want to select that text. And then we're going to go to, well, we can actually select Go To Special, Row Differences, and it would give us that same result. So as we might have learned in earlier videos, we can also use the Alt key, the H key, and then FD. And by Alt, Home, FD, and then Go To Special, you can either say G for Go To, or I'm going to press S for Special. And then we're going to select Row Differences and hit OK. And again, we could maybe mark those in red or something. But in any case, the Find Differences or the Go To Row Differences function is really, really useful. However, if you had your text selected, you could actually just use a direct keyboard shortcut of Ctrl /. So with that, in our next video, we will look at the companion keyboard shortcut. In order to find column differences, we'll use the idea of Ctrl Shift /. Check that out in our next video, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.